Hey, so I guess we're live. So the doctor behind the screen told me. So, all right, guys, day 2. How's everybody doing? Actually, from the comments I read, I'm impressed. I think that you guys are all really hanging super tough, and I'm just impressed. I mean, you're encouragers, you're faithful, many of you, and even the ones that aren't, necessarily subscribing to the whole Christian thing, your hearts are still so about just learning truth and pursuing it for your life. And I think that's so impressive, especially because I think I'm just super aware of so many things going on in the world today, and to see just a group of people that can collectively come together from different places with different ideas and just really collectively hold on to something that has such value for their better good it just says a lot, and I'm just honored to be with you all and excited for you. And so, as you can see, my husband's about to talk about some stuff behind us, but in the meantime, I just wanted to say how I'm just excited. I'm excited for you. I know personally, day 2 is not usually a good day, and based on those that kind of spoke up, it's true to form. You're going to be, shaky, perhaps headaches, or perhaps at an all-time high. I would say that you're going to feel weak. You might be exhausted when you shower. That might take a lot out of you. I mean, of course, there was someone that posted a picture of cooking and how he actually enjoyed his heightened sense of smell.
Yeah, that was different.
And I actually said I will delete that if the majority rules on that one, because that's brutal. I know I looked at it and went, I don't eat that. It looks fried, but it looks like it could be something really good too. So yeah, I took a pause and actually probably smelled it, whereas I normally wouldn't smell a picture. So anyway, enough about that. We have 3 days left, and you guys are killing it. And I know you're going to do it. I know you're going to get the most out of it. And of course, I'm speaking to the healthy population. I know there's some really hardcore people that just want to maximize their health. And again, I would just encourage you, absolutely. But if you have pre-existing conditions that are concerning, you absolutely need to be doing this in a supervised way, and don't take matters into your own hands. There's too many variables, and you just want to make sure you're getting the most out of it as well. So that's kind of all I have to say, but I'm just super excited.
She's praying for all of you, by the way.
I am.
She's praying for every one of you.
Absolutely.
Like many times today, and she broke out the Bible again tonight.
Yeah,
so
I hope you all read what I shared today. That article I found, I thought it was really relevant for all of us, no matter where we are in this journey. I just thought it was super relevant. And but we start our day that way. We start our day just with God and prayer.
Praying
right
for all
now,
of you.
we literally have like a dog and a cat fight.
Deal with that, and then come back and deal with the camera, because we got to deal with the dog fight. But anyway, so deal with the camera, because I actually want to add one of you, and it says you can add someone and bring them into the film. So I want to try that. So Sean Tellerico, we'll probably start with you. So if you post something, it'll come up and say add, then Marilee can hit it, but we're going to wait on that. Okay, I want to review. I'm adding to my list here, okay, of benefits of fasting. Again, quick teaching on the autophagy. Bad cells go away, okay? That means you're ripping them down. And the example I gave you is, look, most people actually have autoimmune. Most gut conditions that don't heal. Most of the reason why we don't feel well is because we actually, then your body raises up the stem cells, and it creates new white cells that are more naive, less reactive, and it knocks down that overreaction of the autoimmune, therefore knocking down inflammation, therefore we feel better. So huge thing. And of course, I talked about that as far as when you have those weird pains. I got a pain in my neck that was something that I hadn't had, and was for 2 hours today. I knew healing was occurring. The headaches, guys, I read many, and girls, I read many of you having the headaches. So listen, it's a sign of healing. Remember, symptoms are a sign that the body's doing something. So I think if we change the way we look at them, I think it's easier to get through them. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Day 2, I actually felt normal energy. I really didn't notice much. I really wasn't even hungry. My ketones were 2.5, blood sugar around 70 earlier. So perfect, right on the money. And I'm going to talk more about the blood sugar in a moment. But I want to get this. So we reset our DNA. Many of these genes that get turned on through bad living, through stressors, this is an opportunity. This is when they start actually turning off. And by the way, that typically starts tomorrow. So something to look forward to. Resets our gut bacteria and microbiome. So follow me. One of the things that happens is many people, we have too many bad bacteria. By the way, that's most of us, right? Well, when it gets really bad, where you have way more bad, this is called dysbiosis. So many people are trying to take probiotics and different things, trying to overcome that. It just doesn't happen. But during a fast, we starve down all bacteria. And by the way, that's why at the end, I'm going to teach you how to re-inoculate. And it's very important that we break this fast right. That's coming up. So we re-inoculate, and then we bring the good way up here. And see, that's our opportunity to overcome the bad. But also, just the bacteria literally get reset. You know, just like our DNA gets reset, and we have a new microbiome. And again, that's why you can all of a sudden stick to a diet. All of a sudden you start losing weight. So a lot of the hormone changes happen because that microbiome gets reset. Healing and energy redirected from food to what needs fixed. I talked a little bit about that. The innate intelligence takes massive amounts of focus for the innate intelligence and energy to direct towards digesting food, processing every vitamin through the liver, through the GI. Imagine 3 meals a day, all that energy for the innate intelligence. We take that away, now we have that directed focus in the energy for healing and also for focus. That's why you fast and pray. That's why you look for solutions and you look for answers, because we have an energy we don't have. We have an intuition. We have a creativity we haven't had before because of that focus. So look for that. That's going to start happening tomorrow for some of you. And by day 4, massive. So watch for that. Ketones. Ketones, you're going to see this rising ketones. I looked at some of your posts today, and your ketones are rising. Some of you were 4s and 5s. That's fantastic. And what that means is the brain, man, the brain loves them. We know all the way back in the early 1900s, ketones fix the brain. That's why we use them for seizures, neurodegenerative conditions, dementia, Parkinson's. All new studies are showing that the ketones have amazing ability to fix that. They downregulate cellular inflammation. Ketones, new research fixes the gut. So also resets the DNA. So we start seeing the value of the ketones. They started rising today. Tomorrow they'll rise more, but most of you aren't getting the benefit yet. And then all of a sudden, day 4, boom, when you start feeling good, your brain kicks on. Now you're really getting the benefits of the ketones. I didn't talk a lot about hormone optimization, but what I mean by that is the magic happens. You actually start to get a growth hormone rise day 3. That's tomorrow. So enjoy your growth hormone because that also stimulates healing. Day 5, that's why we want to go 5 days, you get the highest spike of that growth hormone and hormone optimization. So what that means is tomorrow your cells start to become more sensitive to the hormones you have. And that's really important because we don't want high hormones. Healthy people don't have these skyrocketing hormones. Actually, their cells just become more sensitive. So that's what we start seeing. So you become more sensitive to insulin, the fat-storing hormone, leptin, the fat-burning hormone. So all of your hormones, estrogen, testosterone, all of them, your cells literally start to hear those hormones better. And why is that significant? Because you feel better. You become a more efficient fat burner. So it's shown that this hormone optimization starts, well, we'll just say about now, but going into tomorrow. So, okay, so the list of benefits continues to grow.
Someone asked a question that I think you should answer.
All right, well, here's some other ones, but we'll block those. What is the question?
Why does pain mean healing?
Well, because what's happening is the body sends these things called cytokines. They're like signaling molecules, if you will, and they're stirring the white blood cells into that area, and that brings the healing. So we talk about inflammation. Chronic inflammation is not good, inflammation that sticks around. Acute inflammation, when we feel that, that's actually good. So when you get a cold or you get a flu, that's inflammation. Your body's revving things up, you're healing. So I had that for 2 hours today. It went, and actually I felt my knee where I tore my meniscus 2 years ago. I felt that today. So I actually took note of that as well. Healing's occurring. So I hope that answers it. Body temperature. Why are you cold? I heard that everyone asking that question so many times, so many different ways. Okay, it's normal actually to be cold. It's a matter of fact, amazing things happen with hormones. Hormone levels go down, but the cells become more sensitive. But one of the things is it lowers T3, thyroid hormone, the body's innate intelligence, to spare your muscle. It's actually a slick move. So a lot of this is survival. Now, it's taking its energy inside as well. So what happens is we just feel cold, even our hands and our feet, because again, the body's redirecting its energy on purpose. It's in survival mode. And that's where we get the hormone optimization. That's where we start getting more sensitive to the hormones. But drop in body temperature, no doubt we feel that. But again, the body knows exactly what it's doing. Glucose in ketones, had a lot of questions on this, just to kind of re-explain that. First of all, urine ketones, the strips, no go. Because actually, if I did a strip right now, I promise you I'm actually already 0 on that urine strip. Why? Because I'm using my ketones. Tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to show you breath ketones, a way to measure it, because this is showing what you're using. It's the oxidized ketones. We're measuring something called acetone in the breath. Oftentimes you can kind of smell that odor. But when your urine, you'll notice the ketones in your urine in the beginning, but then they go away, and that's a good thing, because now your brain is using them. It's a sign that your body's using them for energy. So we don't want to see them in the urine, so we don't want to use urine. We want to look at the blood or the breath, and I'll explain more of that. But let's talk about, I mentioned the 1-to-1 ratio is something that Thomas Seyfried, he wrote the book Cancer as a Metabolic Disease. They noticed that tumors started shrinking massively, major autophagy, body's getting rid of the bad stuff, right? So at a 1-to-1 ratio of glucose and ketones, but you have to convert your glucose, because right now your glucose is in milligrams per deciliter. That means nothing to you, but we have to convert them to millimolars per liter to equal this 1-to-1 ratio. So I did that for you just to kind of show you. So if your glucose is 80, that would convert to 4.4. Oh, and by the way, you can just go online and ask for how to convert glucose to millimolars per liter, and it does that. It has a page there for you. 80 is 4.4. So a 1-to-1 ratio, if your glucose is as high as 80, that means you have to get your ketones to what? You guys are so smart. 4.4 is a 1-to-1 ratio. And then you're achieving that high level of autophagy. Okay, so if your glucose is 70, 3.9, ketones, 3.9. If you're down to 50 on the glucose, which many of you will see, then you only have to get to 2.8. But here's the funny part. By the time, this is the difference of fasting and say just being in ketosis, because we can see these 1-to-1 ratios when we get people in ketosis, but fasting, many of you will be down to 50, even 40s, some of you may report 30s, and your ketones will be reading high, meaning it's over 9 or 10 or whatever the reading is. And that's okay. Someone actually said they're on day 3 and had already registering high with glucoses in the 50s. That's fantastic. You're crushing it with autophagy right now. Many of you are going to struggle to get your glucoses down because your body is still going through some gluconeogenesis. It's still losing a lot of muscle, and it probably is getting rid of some of the bad stuff. So it's an adjustment. Your mitochondria are typically toxically damaged. We're going to talk more about that because many of you struggle to get the glucose down, the ketones up. That's a toxic issue. We'll talk more about that. Many of you, as I said, may be just doing a little too much and your body's still just dumping out glucose. That's normal. If you're stressed, cortisol can raise it up. That raises the glucose up. But you're still going to see a trending down and a rising of the ketones. Look for that 1-to-1 ratio. Now you know how to get there. Your poop. A lot of questions about the poop. I'm not pooping. I'm constipated. Can I do this? Can I do that? Fact is, you're not supposed to poop. You're not eating. So 1 or 2 poops is about normal. Oddly enough, I probably pooped 3 times yesterday and this morning. And I'm probably going to be done now. Now, people on longer fasts, Marilyn, we got a dog attacking a cat, and he almost took out the camera. So if the camera's taken out, then you'll know that the dog. Okay, so we're going to almost finish this up. So anyways, it's normal not to poop. You're not eating. So the fiber is absolutely not going through you and your body doesn't have to get rid of it. So very, very normal. So hang in there, folks. You're experiencing the best stuff. The best stuff's coming up, right? You made it this far. You're past the hard stuff. Listen, day 3, no doubt. Many of you are going to have lower glucose and your ketones may be rising, but you're not using them yet. Hang in there. I'm telling you, you can do it. Jeff Hayes is doing it. You can do it. No doubt about that. Bob Hayes, you're doing actually really good. All these, David, this is my little film group that all of you are fasting. But anyways, I saw a lot of your numbers and they're actually superb. So, all right, listen, tomorrow, I said I was going to try to get on earlier. Tomorrow, if I have time, I'll get on earlier and this 6:30 time. Now remember, I'm going to do it live on the group chat because I just learned how to do that. And then I'll post it on my fan page where it's probably easier to get to or to share. So share this because, hey, we're 2,000 plus people. Do you realize that? 2,000 plus people. Someone needs to contact the media, right? Someone needs to talk to the Today Show because they had these ridiculous diets that everyone's doing on there. We need to be talking about what we're doing. Today's Show, Fox News, contact these people. Local news is contact them. Let's get this out of here. 2,000 people. We might have the largest fasting group in the world. I don't know. So awesome. That's all to you guys. We're going to be praying for you all day tomorrow. Can't wait. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.